Sipping on a royal flush, 2 queens is on my cuffs. Good times is in the cards. Living in borrowed time, I'm paying the extra charge. To feel like something small is worth 100 large. Swag is on retard, charm is on massage, wit is on guard. I challenge you to a duel. Who needs a chain where every thought's a jewel? God bless the widow when everyone's a fool.
Yo, man, what's going on? We are back in the building again. Late as always, but you are tuning into another episode of Choppin' It with Q podcast with myself, VJ, and Killah K in the building. You know, it's been a lazy Saturday for all of us, but you know, we in here had to do it for the culture, man. How y'all doing today?
I'm good. It has been a long day, but we're gonna get some recording in, and then I can take a nap while these people do whatever they're doing in my house. It's fantastic.
I can't tell right now. Alicia passed out on the floor like she a kid. She passed out on the floor.
That's my favorite place to sleep too, though. When I'm just taking a nap, like I like to lay on the floor too.
Oh man, some roll like y'all having a slumber party or something.
It's not even that. I think for me, like, because for a long time I had like a very soft mattress, and then as soon as I went and bought a new one, maybe like earlier this year, I bought a new one for my birthday, and I got like a firmer mattress because I prefer that. So when my mattress was softer, I would take a nap on the floor. It's just kind of become habit because I like it to be firm.
Okay, so you had a worn out mattress. I feel that, you know, it got in a lot of work. Kayla, how you
No,
doing?
that is not what I. That's not what I said. I just said it was soft. You need to calm down. Kayla, how your day going? Wow.
Well, I had a hangover, shitty hangover this morning. But then I worked, and work came and went. Did some running around. I'm tailgating tomorrow for the Eagles game, so had to go
Whoop
to the
whoop.
Okay.
right. So I had to go to the beer distributor. Had to get some Eagles gear. Excuse me, get some drinking beer now. Had to get some snacks, whatever. And yeah, just planning for tomorrow. I got to do my hair. My hair
Whoop
like
whoop.
a hot mess.
Kayla about to be live on y'all tomorrow.
Man, she gonna
Right,
be
it's
drunk by
supposed to
noon.
rain, so I don't even know what to do to my hair. So,
Ponytail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Girl, just go as is. You'll be all right. You gonna be drunk by noon anyway. Ain't nobody gonna care.
I say yeah.
Exactly. Pretty much.
It's like nobody will even notice. Put a hat on, it'll be fine.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Do you actually follow the Eagles, or you just going because you got invited?
I follow the Eagles. I'm not like I watch some of the games. I like basketball better, but I do watch Eagles games.
Yeah, the Sixers
I
is
think
trash though. I'm sorry.
All right,
you
trust the
rude.
process. You're a hater.
You rude.
All right.
God, that was rude.
We
Jesus.
talk about the Eagles. I don't know how you started talking about the Sixers. Damn.
You
You
said
could
you
let
like
the Sixers out
basketball.
of it. But you didn't have to. You didn't have to do that.
Right,
Like you a hater. You didn't
right.
have to do that.
It's okay, man. We gotta trust the process.
We
Exactly.
gonna. Anyway. So funny story. Before I forget, I was gonna tell y'all this because I just thought this was wild, right? So I was sitting in my boss's office and we were talking about something, and he made the single most inappropriate joke I've ever heard out of a white. Like it was pretty bad. Like it wasn't like sexually harass me bad, but somehow we were talking about going to get pedicures or something to that effect, and one of the other girls, well, she's the office manager, and she was like, yeah, I went to my regular spot, and she was like, there's one Asian lady that works there that I really, really like, and she wasn't there, so I ended up not getting my pedicure. And I was like, yeah, I understand. I try to go to the same person, especially, when it's my eyebrows, this, that, and the third. And he was like, how? And he was like, there ought to be an Asian lady everywhere for you to get your nails and feet done. He was like, they come over here by the boatload, and somehow in that he called the Orientals.
Oh
I
man.
hate when people call Asians
And he called them Oriental, and so the office manager, she's white, but she was mortified. Like her jaw just like dropped. Like I think she was more uncomfortable because I was there. Like she's one of those like semi woke white people. Like she's not super woke, but she adopted her children and they're mixed race.
Okay.
And so she tries to be as progressive as she, as she can be. I'm not gonna call her like super woke, but she does what she can. She tries to be we'll say she tries to be politically correct, because I don't know what she does when she's at home, obviously.
Right.
So we'll say she tries to be as politically correct as possible, but I think her face like cracked in half, her jaw fell so far. And I was just like, you can't call people Orientals. And he was like, well, why not? That's what they are. And I said, no.
No, they're
That's
not.
not.
Dumbass white motherfuckers.
I said,
Like,
no,
no,
incorrect.
dumbass. Not at all.
So, he's my boss.
Oriental is a rug.
He's the one side of my paycheck. So I said, look, Oriental is used to describe things, rugs,
Right.
cheap ramen,
Right.
vases, but not people. Noodles.
Yeah, your noodles.
Dishes, rugs, but not people. And he was like, so then what do you call people? I said, Asian? And he was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think, as much as I want to be mad, I really don't feel like he knew any fucking better. Like, he's old as shit. So I don't even think that he knew that what he said was offensive. I'm just glad he said it to us and not to an actual Asian person. Like that.
Older people use the term Oriental a lot. I've realized that.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that he didn't know. I don't think he knew any better, which is unfortunate because you're the boss and you have, you are overseeing people, so you should probably be slightly more up to date on what correct terms are for people.
Like, what if you go on a business trip to China somewhere? You like, hey man, so where you Oriental peoples eat?
They're gonna spit in his food.
If they're gonna get some food, they're probably gonna kick him out.
That's still racist.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Like they're like I've told y'all before, I think they're all kind of low key racist. And like I said, some of it is they generally are just ignorant and don't know, and some of the other stuff I'm like, nah, I think y'all kind of press you pushing it. But I think he just really was ignorant in this case. But he looked super surprised, and I was like, you can't call them you can't call people Oriental.
Like,
why not? No, this is exactly. Well, why can't I? Like leg crossed and everything. Well, why can't I call them Orientals? Like, sir.
It's like that scene in Life when Eddie Murphy was pulling Can't Get Right to the side. No, you can't do that. No, you just can't do that.
That was exactly it. Well, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of times on Twitter, people are like, I'm tired of explaining things to people. I'm not going to explain anything to any of these white people ever. Ah! And I just am of the mindset, like, some people genuinely do not know. And I think you can tell the difference between somebody genuinely wanting an answer and wanting to learn something in a teachable moment and somebody trolling you. And I legitimately feel like if it's a teachable moment, then why not try to teach?
Well, yeah.
Because I feel like
people that deserve the education, because there are the white people who truly do not know and are truly, once introduced to it, they receive that information. Then you got these racist, bumblefuck, toothless, cultureless, Confederate flag wiping their ass with it, sucking its dick motherfuckers who don't know anything and think they know everything. Those are the people that you don't waste your time on.
Well, damn, Kayla, tell us how you really feel about it.
I know, right? She said sucking its dick. The flag has it. So I got some flags in storage that we put out for Memorial Day to line the driveway. Do they all have dicks too, or just some of the flags, or
Confederate flag?
Oh, okay, just that one. All right, because I was like, I got some flags too. Do they all come with a penis? Because
that's just the Confederate flag.
I was like, damn, I got dicks in storage and I didn't even know.
Well, every woman got that.
Not in your attic though. Nobody got no dick stored in their attic. That sounds like a serial killer. That's the beginning of one of those urban legend stories. It's like living in your attic.
No, not in the attic. It's just in your phone. You just only saving that in case of emergencies. If you really hit rock bottom, you like shit.
Oh, the dick in the glass case.
Yeah, exactly.
Break in case of emergency. Oh, okay.
You got that. Probably,
never mind.
I would say on average, in my opinion,
maybe.
I think every woman.
Actually, no. I don't have no holes now. Like
I don't really either.
I've like put people on block lists, all that. Like
that's by choice.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll admit that. It's by choice. Currently, it's by choice. I'm trying to be a better person. You know what my situation is. I'm doing what I can do, man.
Yeah, I'm just focused on finishing with school and like just getting everything done. I don't have time for the fake Karen, the riffraff, and acting like you
The
care and you really don't. I don't have time for that shit. Like,
just a lot
positive
of
thoughts, positive vibes. I don't want no confusion, no bullshit, no community dick. I don't want it. Like, I'm good right now.
that's
I
right,
had
y'all.
a clear mindset and an
Kayla don't want no
understanding.
hateration, holleration in this dancery right now.
Amen. Like, I just want a clear, positive, focused mind. I'll keep the bullshit later.
I'll ask you in a month.
Boom, heard that.
In a month, you be like, well, okay, I had to. It's been a while, so I took a guy, ruined his life, because now you can't stop calling me. So I had to change my number, and
You block them. You just put them on your block list. You ain't got to do all that. That's too much energy. You just block them.
Speaking of that,
If you really smart, you just give them your Google Voice number, and you ain't even got to do all of that.
this is facts. This is
I'm
true.
forever putting people on block lists. I'm my friends and my listeners. They always be telling me stop blocking people. I'm forever. I am
Why? It's
deblock.
fun.
Right. That's what it's for. It's not like you can take them off. Like it's not like a permanent thing. I don't understand why
So,
my friends are like stop doing that to people. I'm like
so,
no.
so,
That's what I need to do for my peace of mind. So I'm gonna fucking do it.
so, Kayla, you like
Shit.
putting people on punishment, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lois, but here's the thing. I agree with her, right? Because people treat the block list low key, like you are blocking these people into outer space. Like when you hit block, it like makes them fall off Earth or something. Like people really, oh, don't block them. Like, but what's gonna happen? Like they
Right. As
still
if
gonna be
niggas
living
don't
their
know where I
regular
live.
life.
Like, as if niggas don't know where I live. Like, who cares? Whatever. I don't want to
If
talk.
I put you,
I don't want to think about them. If I put them on the block list, their message won't come up. They won't cross my mind. Like, I need that right now. That's the mind state I'm in right now. And if I need that in order to be at peace, I'm going to fucking do it. And I
self
do
care,
it.
sis. Above all, self care.
Right.
A lot of y'all need to start blocking folks too. I understand that y'all just. I think some of y'all really enjoy inner turmoil. Y'all enjoy
I
having y'all
do.
lives in upheaval and confusion because people do crazy shit to you, mistreat you, or piss you off, and instead of blocking them or deleting them from your social medias, y'all just like, nah, we just gonna roll with it. And then the shit just steady coming across your phone. They steady texting you. You just gotta look
Yeah,
at
that's
it, and
harassment.
you
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be harassed.
and you just sitting there looking instead of just blocking them and going about your life. Then you got to look at that and be whatever, sad, mad, angry, happy, hungry. Like, why?
Well, people don't know how to be happy. It's just like it's like you follow people you dislike just so you can have something to talk about. Ooh,
This is true. People are miserable and they love to find similarly miserable people to gang up on people that are trying to live their best life.
yes.
Word.
No, no,
Sucks.
no, no.
Sucks
Never
to be
mind.
them.
We're not going. We not going. Just all we gonna say is that Q, Kayla, and I know some people that we feel are probably super miserable, and they don't have anything to do but to fuck with us. But that's
Yes.
fine.
And
It's fine.
I'm gonna just say this one more again. That's it. Now, of course, it's just online. You can't do too much, but don't mess with anybody close to me, man. I'm not the one. It's not how it's about. That's not what we're finna do. But I digress on
Y'all
that
know
one.
me. BJ used to joke with me all the time about it. Hey, BJ, there go BJ.
Hmm.
Half of Penrose versus
Yeah.
but yeah, and hello to Penrose as well. So, but no, he used to joke with me all the time, and he was like, yeah, he was like, you are always like, it's go time. Like, you don't care. If somebody comes for anybody, you're just like, what is there a problem here? Like, you just like pop your head around the corner, like, what's going on? And I was like, no, that's real. But I always tell people, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you the long way. So I'm not about to let anybody run up on you and talk to you crazy, point blank, period. I don't care what it is. You could have said something crazy to them 2 days ago, and they're just responding. Guess what? I'm finna drag their ass along with you, and then when we get done, I'm be like, so you probably shouldn't have said what you said to them 2 days ago.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say it in private. After they get that drag, we can talk about it in private about how you might have been wrong, but it don't matter to me after the fact.
Yeah, you got to pull this
We're
out,
gonna
man.
do better the next time.
Now you was wilding, but I ain't gonna let that happen. Not in public.
Exactly. You was wild, but oh well. Be less wild next time. That's it.
Oh man.
I don't. I personally, I was like, okay, next. Like,
We know you were like
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. You was ready
everybody's
on.
old, everybody's bitter.
Like,
Kayla don't fuck with us for real, for real. Like, Kayla fucks with us, but Kayla will secretly be like, these old motherfuckers here.
no,
God
it's
damn.
just like, just in that situation, it's just like, okay, I I can't. I got shit to do. I can't be debating about shit. Like I said what I said, and that's it.
Well,
And
you know,
you
some people wear their pride on their sleeve, or in this case, on a shirt. But
right. Oops.
you
But
Um,
huh?
so,
Like that's what the purpose of the mute button is. Like, okay, I see
that's why you just
people.
block.
Like some people have respectful responses, and it's like, okay, I thank you for your respectful response. Like, thank you for taking the time to read my point of view, and I can tell that you read my point of view by your response. So I took the time to read your response, and I do agree with your response too. So thank you. We have different points of view, but we also understand each other's point of view, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Everybody else, like, fuck y'all. Like, I
Caleb,
don't
come on
care.
now.
It's too much. Like,
That's
it's
like
just too much.
that's like saying people can actually have an argument, a respectful argument. You not only
Yeah.
read enough so I can give a rebuttal. I ain't trying to really hear what you got to say.
Yeah, and
But
it's like
once
I could
again,
tell, but by a lot of people's responses that they weren't reading the entire thread, and it's like, well, I don't entertain ignorant people. You're ignorant in this situation because you didn't educate yourself before you opened your mouth. So I don't have
but
time for that.
But you know how that goes. People very, very often will argue and they only listen or read in order to respond. They're not doing it to listen or to learn. They're only doing the bare minimum to have a rebuttal, like he was saying. That's the only reason they're there. So they have something to argue with, which goes back to people being miserable. Like if you were less miserable, you would have, if you focus less on being miserable and more on, reading for context, you would be in this boat. But, whatever.
Yeah, but it's like it's just the ongoing thing with black people, like with whatever is going on, fuck all the politically correct terms and lingo, whatever all this dumb shit that's been going on is currently going on. We as a people in general, generally speaking, not for everybody, because we can never be generalized because we're beautiful, we're black. We're not just one thing. We're not all
We're
gray.
not a monolith.
Complex. I mean, you're just gonna say what you want to say. Like I don't. Once we understand that everybody's experience is different, everyone has different opinions, and no, at the end of the day, no one is right or wrong. Our opinions and our experience that's what we experience. That's our opinion. There's nothing right or wrong, but at the end of the day, we do have there is a lot of common ground among us. Instead of nitpicking and trying to have this one train thought and one, I'm sorry, I can't even fucking think right. Have this one this one tray of because it's just so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. It's just a constant contradiction. Black people, when we argue about shit, we argue in circles because we're saying the same thing but in a different way, and it's like, I agree with you, but not really, but kind of, but not really, because I'm right. I'm all the way right, and you're kind of right. Like, it's just weird. Like, we're all different. We're all right. Embrace that and use that to make a change and not just fucking talk about it or wear it on a shirt, but actually be about it and live it. And yes, it is possible to do both. Yes, it is possible to do both, but focus less on the tangible and the material and all that shit and start living it, start teaching it, start learning it.
Speaking
That's
of
what
that,
my point was. But
eh,
again, everybody read the first two tweets and went off. So if you did that and 99% of the people did it, fuck you, because your opinion wasn't or your response wasn't fully informed, and I'm not entertaining that. That shit is dumb.
now I
Like
would
I
Well,
was
I
just
will
like,
say
what?
this about black people, and I always found this incredibly interesting, right? Like, I will agree that there are parts of the black experience that are very similar across the board for the vast majority of black people. But they
true.
always say black people are not a monolith, correct? We're not all one person. You can't speak for everybody. We are not all the same person. So we have similar black experiences, but we are not all one person. But I always thought it was very interesting because then when anybody diverges from what they consider that black experience, something's wrong with you. Oh, we gonna revoke your black card. What, you've never, you don't, and it's like that shit is crazy to me. Like, you just sat here and said that we're not a monolith and we don't all have the same experiences, but you mad because I don't have those experiences and spoke up about it.
You mean how they
Right.
used to do Bill Cosby when he'll sit there and say, "Bill don't speak for me, Ray Lewis
Exactly.
don't speak for me." All these
Don't
guys,
nobody
which
speak
I
for
don't
you
agree
but
with them.
you. No, nobody speaking for you but you. But in the meantime, you don't get to tell me how to be black.
Yeah,
I gotta be out here in this. I gotta be out here in this brown ass skin the same way you do, sis. Like you can't tell me how to navigate being black where I am or not am. You navigate you over there, which
wait. You
goes back to Kayla and I's long running advice for all of you motherfuckers. Mind your goddamn business and drink some more water so the brown skin you got can quit looking like a Nestle fucking Crunch bar over there. Mind your black ass experience.
are
Where
you
the fuck
trying?
about mine?
Are you trying to tell me you didn't get that memo?
The memo that I gotta mind everybody else black experience.
No, no, yeah, the memo that it gave you the step by steps of what blackness is and should be. You didn't get that memo?
No, I must have missed that one.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
gotta.
is that is that when they took my black card away or whatever they call themselves trying to do? Did I not get the package? Was that the month they took it and I
yeah,
didn't?
yeah, you're supposed to renew your membership and then we'll send you that plate, that how to. So yeah, you just send me
Like,
your updated email and
okay,
it's a 90-day waiting period.
okay, it's like so they do a background check or whatever to make sure
Yeah.
you're not a Rachel Dolezal,
Yeah,
and
exactly. You can't
then
be
okay,
Martina Big out here. Yeah, we got to make sure you're legit, authentic.
okay, I got you. Oh, Kayla, did you see that video of the lady that I guess she was like Russian and she said that she was born white and now she's a black person?
Hell no. What
You
type
did?
of Rachel Dolezal bullshit is
Oh, it's
that?
Times
worse.
20 million. It is horrible. And then she's like, I want to go to Africa so that I can learn about the like this. Like sis is like, I'm gonna be a black person. I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm doing this. I'm black now. And she got a whole full on, looks like blackface brown situation.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Nails it. Like it is. She looks like a fucking cartoon character.
it's awful. Like I see her, and I think I was telling people. I think we talked about it on Talking 30 one time, and I said, anybody here familiar with Pokemon when it first came out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about Dragon Ball Z? Anybody familiar with that as well?
Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
I didn't pay attention to it like that, but I remember seeing it.
Okay, so basically, she looks exactly like the Jinx character from Pokemon or Mr.
Pokemon.
Popo.
Jinx.
Yes.
She's like a cat.
That is exactly it.
I'm
She
I'm
looks
I'm
crazy.
I'm about to send you a picture of her right now.
Oh.
But yeah, it's pretty
It's pretty
bad.
bad. What else happened besides that woman looking crazy?
Oh, I found out that I got a new Negro hero. He's out here doing it for everybody, and then you really found out he's here for the people, fighting for the people. Because
Shannon Sharp is my nigga.
yes, he be on the miles in that hen dog.
And dog, yes. Yes, all heroes don't wear capes.
Oh,
Yes,
not me.
Mhm.
yes.
Are you- and we were sitting there talking about it, and V already cursed me out for it, but we we were talking about it at work, and we were like, so people actually still buy Black and Miles to smoke them as is, because
Yep,
usually, because
sure do.
we all know why Black and Miles and Swishers stay in business.
Exist.
We
We
know
know why
why.
they exist, honey.
I smoke. You smoke black. Well, you never smoked a black and mild regular.
I
He
was
has. He's
20.
saying now that he's an adult now and he doesn't do that anymore. Is what he was trying to get at.
Well, you usually when you got Black and Miles is when you first are able to buy your own tobacco and you like, I don't really want cigarettes, but
Which is
I
crazy
still
because they're worse than cigarettes.
I know. That's
I've
what I'm
heard
saying.
that.
So you like, I don't want no cigarettes, so shoot, man, give me that Black and Mild. Yeah, give me the grape one. That's
Ugh, that's a
you right.
thing,
They had a grape. Ew.
huh? Yeah,
I never knew they had grape
Yeah,
flavor.
they
Okay.
had different flavors.
they do. I was black and mild cream when I was still smoking. Well, I was still smoking and when I was still drinking
Yeah.
Boone's Farm.
Oh, boom, man.
The Blue Hawaiian Boone's Farm and cream black and mild. So I thought I was doing something.
Oh man, that's just brings back memories. I remember being that's when I first met a homie, and he was teaching me tricks. He was like, "Yeah, man, see, here's what you got to do. You got to take the Black and Mild, and you see the tip that they put on there is too narrow, so you can't really get a good puff from it. So you light the
So
tip,
you bite it.
you light it and soften it up, and then bite it to open it up." I said,
Yeah.
"I said, this dude here give you a how to."
But then you don't want to like share with anybody because they done bit the tip of this bitch open and out and slobber and
Yep,
shit. I
yep.
hate when people do that. You like, never mind. Never mind. But I digress. So Shannon Sharp got on the Lord's TV, the televisions, on Undisputed in front of Joy and Skip, and pulled out his black and mild and said he'd be on the miles and hen dogs. And I just want you to know that I am after that. Like I already was in the Shannon Sharp hive, but I just want to know y'all. I want y'all to know I'm a Sharpie for life. Like
Hey,
hashtag Sharpie for life. Like
hey.
Shannon Sharp is my hero.
it, it was so funny because she was the old girl. She was confused. She was like, "What is this?" And she was like analyzing it the whole time. Like, what
Poor
is
Joy.
this?
Poor Joy. She was like, "This is so cheap." She called it cheap, or she didn't say
I think she
ghetto,
said,
but you could see in her face that
yeah,
she saw the low budget. She called
yeah.
it low budget because you could see in her face she wanted to call it ghetto so bad. You
Oh
could
yeah.
see it in her face. She was trying not to do it, and she was just like, "This looks so low budget."
I was waiting for like, cause then I was like, wow, it was so funny.
That was
But you know what?
everything.
Only a real G would get up there and say, "Hey, screw what all y'all got to say. This is me, goddamn it. This is what I'm on."
And there's a valuable lesson to be learned from that. The rest of y'all should do that too. Don't worry about what everybody else considers okay. You do what you want to do for your life. As long as you're not bothering nobody and doing some illegal ass shit, prosper. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of prosperity out here for you to have. So you prospering in your way and your time doing what you enjoy. And if that means you got to have miles and hen dog, goddamn it, you do it.
Now
VJ cares.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm waiting for Black and Miles stock to go ahead and rise a little bit. Cause everybody finna now go start going to their local 7-Eleven. I'm finna hit this QT. Hey man, I need the miles, man. Where you got them? Matter of fact, I'm feeling bougie. Give me the 3-pack. No, what is it? The 4-pack?
The 5-pack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a box. Just give me a
Yeah.
box.
Just give me a box. I don't want the single. I think I'll feel a little fancy tonight.
Jesus Christ. Well, in an opposite direction of people being your heroes, as Deep Samir like to call him, Trumpito or 45 if you're like us. So
Yeah.
45 made a trip to Puerto Rico. I was hoping somebody would kill him while he was there, but no such luck.
Damn.
He's still living, guys. I thought for sure after the way he acted, somebody would be like, we just gonna snuff him out while he's here.
you
Wait. Oh my gosh. I just got
Oh,
the
she just
picture
got the
up.
You
picture.
just got that picture.
Oh my gosh. Yo. Oh my goodness.
That look like
Oh
she look.
no.
That look like a Halloween costume, honestly. But
That's what I thought of.
No.
Do you remember that when that year when there was like that whole controversy because the white lady, the Dancing with the Stars lady, dressed up like Crazy Eyes from Orange Is the New Black, and she did like the black paint or whatever on her face? That's what that woman looks like to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
terrible. Oh my goodness.
It's so
mm,
bad.
with those flotation devices on her chest, like, look.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
terrible.
saying.
Like what the
It's
fuck?
very bad.
Is that what my thing is? But to me, with shit like that, so it's like, is that what you think black women look like or should look like?
Well,
Like,
she.
Yeah, I
is
think
that
she's looking at a caricature of black people, deciding this is what she wants to do, and this is what she went and got. Like
Yeah,
she's not, and that's why you can't even take her seriously because that's what you think of black people if that's the surgery you went and got done.
yeah, like that's just it's fucking ridiculous. She's
I was like, Rachel
yeah.
Dolezal just kind of sat in the sun a little bit and started getting some black hairstyle. She didn't take it
right.
that
Got
far.
some
Yeah,
mild.
she just started going to those spray tan salons.
And
You
getting a
know.
look, which white people do anyway. So it wasn't like she was out of line for that. She just went and got her some, cultural appropriation braids, which she really can't even do that. She had some crochet braids. I don't know. She was braiding hair, whatever. Don't matter. So your man's
Oh
went down to Puerto Rico and he was doing the Jim Jones balling video. He was recreating it with Puerto Ricans,
man, I guess he
throwing paper
thought.
towels at people.
I guess he thought he was Jordan when he wore 45. So he was out there like, hey, hoop dreams. I'm on fire. Wait, hold up, buckets. Yeah, hold up.
But but his wrist game though, it was like, hey, I see the wrist flick as
I,
that was you was looking.
I was waiting for him to say, you know why they call me Don T? Cause I get buckets, like Uncle
Lord,
Drew.
Lord,
Oh,
if that man would have said, oh, oh,
I don't know, would he lose or
oh,
gain points on that?
lose.
Hey, yo,
You
you lose.
already lost. You already went to this hurricane flood ravaged place, sat in front of the people and told them if they fucked up the budget when you have spent 1/3 of the money that you have spent in both Texas and Florida on these people, and then proceeded to get up there and toss paper towels at them like you were giving out T-shirts at a pep rally. And that's the problem. Like, he thinks everything is a campaign rally. Like, the campaign is over, sir. Can you start being the president?
Right.
Nah, man, he got to continue to convince people why. Because I think he's still confused. He's like, damn, they really did put me in this spot. Shit,
I
let
guess
me.
I gotta keep convincing him while I still why I gotta be here. Like, it's like he thinks he has to, like it's like a television series or something. Like, I gotta make it interesting, otherwise they gonna cancel my show.
You know what would be funny? It's so messed up. Wolf at the end of these 4 years is like, okay, so the first 4 seasons of Don T in the Office will be out on DVD or on Netflix for stream.
Or Ashton Kutcher like runs out and tells us we all got punked.
You know what? In that sense, I'll be like, you got me. I was like, I knew
I,
something was up. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
like, y'all not funny, but I guess. Like, no, y'all not funny, but I guess
Yeah, that would be
that
one
is
of those situations you gotta. Okay, man, look, that joke went too far. We gotta fight now. See me outside.
pretty much. Speaking of things kind of getting out of hand, Black Twitter erupted into anarchy and trash can fires because, well, your boy Cam Newton hopped up on the
Oh
stage and
man.
said some things that he didn't like, that people didn't like. Apparently, one Jordan something another. I don't know her
I
name because
forgot
it's
her
not really
name.
important, frankly. Some very
Right.
generic white woman. Some very generic white woman asked him a question about a route, and he said it's just funny to have a girl asking him questions about routes. Here's the thing about Cam. I don't have any reasonable expectation that he is going to say something thought provoking or insightful or any of those things. Now, with that being said, I saw a lot of people in a tizzy because they were like, this is so sexist, this is so horrible. Yes, I think that his comments were sexist.
I
I
can
think
see
he
that.
probably could have worded it better. Do I think that the man is a horrible sexist and he hates all women
No.
and whatever? No. I think that he's still young, and I think, like we were talking about, it is a teachable moment from him. Did it cost him an endorsement? Yeah. I, that might have been a bit harsh, considering that she turned out to be a fucking racist. But
Oh yeah. Hey man, you
Well,
know
race
Twitter
but
gonna pull
everything at
receipts.
the end of the day. So
But
race
like I
is
like to tell
all.
people, but like I like to tell people, in the end, you can be a sexist and she can be a racist. Like, both things are possible, and that's the part that I think people were trying to glaze over.
Mhm.
You can be a victim and still be a shitty person.
Yeah.
You can still be a victim and have said shitty things.
It, ooh, because all right.
As I'm saying, you can be a victim of racism and still not. Black men are victims of racism all the time, but y'all sure are fucking trash for the most part. It doesn't absolve you of being a shitty trash person. It just means that some racist shit happened to you.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I remember I was listening. Now, I went in and I read the question. First of all, I had to say, I said the question didn't make sense. Period. Honestly, I asked and she asked some question like Funches, which is one of the receivers, like, what do you think about the physicality of his routes? I said, what the hell does that mean? like,
It
oh,
was a vague question.
yeah,
It was a vague question. But what I saw a lot of dudes on TV, a lot of dudes on Twitter saying were like, well, until you can tell me what a route tree is, or putting up like, the beginning, like the play formations. Well, until you can tell me what play this is, then you don't need to worry about it. And it was
yeah.
like, y'all are really wild.
I,
Like, he didn't run up on that girl at brunch in the
no,
Hamptons. Like, she was at her job. So while I agree, the question that she asked was worded funny, and I'd have probably been like, "What do you mean?
it,
Could you explain?
here's
Like, could
how.
you expound more?" Like, I don't. And that's probably. And I mean, I feel like that's probably part of the reason he reacted the way he did. He answered her question, but I felt like he was like, "That is so fucking strange."
Yeah, it was
Like,
strange because, and here's what I think. This was the two things. I think I was talking to you about it, V. I said, here's the two things that came into play. One, her being a woman. Yeah, it's true that in a lot of cases, if I'm talking to a woman anywhere, unless she's a coach, and then most women don't even want to coach football. I mean, I'm not saying don't want to, but there's not that many women in football coaching. So
mhm.
unless you're a coach, and I do this with dudes as well. Like at work, I don't talk actual, anything about the sport in, depth. It's just very generic. But it's one of those things. It's like, and even reporters don't ask those type of questions. They don't say, "Hey, on this down, you did the ISO. Why did y'all go with the ISO play?" He'd be like, "ISO? How you know that?" It'll be one of those situations. It's like, yeah, I know you're at work, but you're a reporter. If you were a coach asking this, yeah, that's definitely sexist, because it's like this is your profession. You are paid to know that aspect of it.
But I think she's, but I feel like she's a sports reporter, and I think that, I mean, obviously the journalism aspect is more the focus there. I feel like it's within her wheelhouse to also be educated on the bare bones of things. And I'm not saying she might, I'm not saying she know every route and she can, spout everything from a playbook. I'm just saying, like most people, she does have a working knowledge, and there are a lot of people that have more than a working knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it. So it feels odd. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can see both sides because I feel like in her job, in her profession, it's within her wheelhouse to have some knowledge. So maybe she does know about routes and stuff, and that's reasonable. So I think a lot of it is he was surprised to hear it come out of her mouth, but he probably shouldn't have shown that surprise in front of a mic and a camera.
Yeah.
As a black man in
Yeah.
front of a bunch of white
Yeah,
people.
because
Exactly.
that was a lose situation for him anyway. It would have been like, because, but I get it. Like at first, initially, it came out, and it was just like, oh, I don't know if he was remorseful about it. Now that's the only issue I also had as well, is because we can't tell you what makes you feel anything. I can't tell you how you feel, and it's kind of like we've, the discussion of saying female in, as a generality for, just speaking about a woman, how it will make some women feel because of how it has been used from certain people in the past. Now, even though that's my context, I can't tell you how to feel about what I said. Now, I don't feel you're above saying, "Oh, that's my bad. I didn't know that." And I think that's where I'll put more blame on that, because now you come off as like, Psh, how dare you ask me to apologize? I think I'm Cam fucking Newton. you know?
And I think that was, and I think that's where, and I think that's where the issue lied. Because when the girl came to him and was like, "Hey, I felt the way," all he had to be was like, "Hey, you know what? I apologize if I offended you. It wasn't meant that way." And people are like, "Oh, he didn't owe her an apology." Sometimes it's not about what you owe a person. Sometimes it's about just being a decent human being in a situation and understanding that sometimes you say things where you may not think they're offensive to anybody. And if one person is offended, just kind of take it, sucking it up and being like, "I don't really feel like I owe her an apology, but hey, if I offended you or said something or misspoke, hey, I apologize. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable trying to do your job. My bad."
Yeah,
And that's the end of it. And that's all it would have taken.
yeah.
So I
Now,
mean, and that's the thing. I think people like to absolve themselves of just being good people, which not to say Cam Newton is a bad person. I think sometimes we forget that it's okay to just be kind to people. Like it's okay if somebody was like, "Hey, the thing you said kind of bothered me," and be like, "You know what? I'm sorry.
yeah,
I
and
didn't mean for you to be bothered." And
and
that's
you,
it. Like unless they're asking some absurd, ridiculous shit from you, but
yeah, she wanted a Kevin Hart apology.
that's what I'm saying. I think she. I honestly feel like if that man would have been like, "You know what? I understand. I'm sorry. I understand your point." That would have been. It would have been dead. The girl wouldn't have said shit else about it. She'd have got on Twitter and be like, "He apologized. We're good here." And it wouldn't have been shit else. Her tweets wouldn't have been dug up. It wouldn't have been a national commotion. None of that would have happened. But once again, back to black people, blowing shit out of proportion.
Man, look, one thing I
Mm-hmm.
can say about Black Twitter is them motherfuckers are detectives. You said something back in 2010 or hell 2005 and Twitter didn't exist, they gonna dig it up.
But my thing is,
They don't.
how do people fucking do that? How do you do
You can
that?
go back and look at somebody's tweets. You can scroll through, and then
Yeah,
if you go
Who's
like,
scrolling through thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands of tweets?
oh, well, you can narrow it down. Like, let's say if like this works better from a desktop, right? So let's say I click on your Twitter profile. I can do a search through your tweets, and the search bar will pop up, and I can just type in random words and see if you've ever tweeted anything about them.
hmm
So who invented that feature? Whoever did
Twitter,
that fucking
Twitter. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Twitter.
Twitter, I guess.
who was the brain behind that feature? Because they're fucking creepy.
Well, no, I think the general idea is if like we're having a conversation, but we had the conversation a month ago. If I know who I had it with but can't find it, I can find it that way. If I know, like, yeah, which I mean, obviously happens. Like we all have conversations on Twitter, and occasionally I'm just like, I remember we talked about X, Y, Z, and I want to go back and look. I can that way because a lot of times, the tweets get buried in other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some of y'all got 280 characters on Twitter, and I see some of y'all doing some really, dope, funny shit with your 280, and some of y'all, some of y'all or whatever, you're there.
Right. I still have 140, so.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, how you get to 280?
I don't have 280.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm like, how do you get there? All right. I guess you gotta be
I
verified.
think it's in beta. They picked random people. Some people weren't verified.
Oh, okay.
Rude. Guess I wasn't verified.
They randomly picked. But I will tell you what I thought was very nice on their part. They didn't give Donald Trump 208 characters.
Yes, God bless.
I can imagine. Down to you be having a whole
Peace to
booklet.
them. Peace to them, because God, to have the foresight to be like, nah, not so fast.
Hey, there's certain people you just be like, nah, man, not that one, not him.
Never him.
Oh man, you know what? Matter of fact, speaking of Twitter, so this is because I thought about this. I was like, I think I really want to do a segment called, who raised you, and it's just a kind of poke fun at people who just do dumb stuff. And so they had this one. Well, I don't know how true it is. I always say, it's Twitter, so we don't know. But allegedly, this one woman, she put on there how I think she rode an Uber, and maybe y'all can attest to this. I don't know if this ever happened to y'all in a cab, Uber, bus, whatever. But the dude wouldn't let her. I mean, he wouldn't let her in or out unless she took his number.
I believe it was out.
Okay.
Like she was in the Uber already, and he wouldn't unlock the doors until she
And I'm like,
gave him her number.
yeah, I'm like, who? I don't know. that's the type of stuff, and I'm like, man, hold up, why? Why would you do that? I don't want to. That's the equivalent of what was it? Don't be a menace when you put the gun to the head. Give me your number. Okay, cool. I'm gonna call you about 6. All right. I said all right.
But that's the thing with men, and not all men. Let me preference this. I'm not talking about all of you. So please do not feel like anything I have said here is indicative of the entire group of men, because it is not. Let me just preference that now. But the issue with a vast majority of men is that they feel entitled to women's space and their time and their bodies. So he felt like it was very fine for him to use the position that he was in and the power that he had over this woman to get her phone number.
I wouldn't.
For what reason?
I wouldn't want it.
And you obviously would not do something like that. And to your knowledge, you don't know anybody who does. But that's the thing about it. For women, all we really want from you is like, we get that we know good men. Like, we know that we know men that are not doing these things. But when y'all are in male dominated spaces and there are no women around and people tell you fucked up stories about shit that they've done to women or shit that they think is okay, are you policing these people? Are you saying anything to these people? Or are you just letting them go saying this wild fucked up shit about women and the things that they'll do and don't do, and then letting them go back out into the world to do it to somebody else? We understand that the people in your friend group probably don't do it, but damn, could you at least speak up and be like, damn, that if somebody is if you're comfortable, I'm not saying in the grocery store and you overhear something, but if somebody's telling you something directly, and even if it's something you wouldn't do personally to a woman, if you know it's fucked up, are you telling them it's fucked up?
Oh yeah.
I often wonder that, because there's always somebody say, not me, I'm not like that. I don't know anybody like that. Do you really not know anybody who's done some fucked up shit in regards to women, and you just let the shit slide? You don't have no homeboys that have told you some fucked up stories about some shit that they've done to women or the way that they've treated them, and you was like, damn, that's wild. That nigga wild. But that's all you fucking said.
Most of the stories we talk about will be sex based. They're talking about from college days, but I think the only time I ever had a situation where, I had to kind of say, nah, B, you wrong.
Follow.
And it was one cat. we were cool, and I think we were in hell, I don't remember, we were in high school or just graduated high school, and he was talking to this one girl. And when I first saw her, I was like, nah, man, she look hella young. Nah, man, she said she was I think he was what, 18. He said, nah, man, she said she like 16, 17, something like that. And I say, nah, dog. I said, you might want to check into that. She don't look like she anywhere close to that. He said, man, I'm telling you, that's what she said. I said, okay. I said, I'm telling you, check into that because I don't think that's what it is. So then, of course, later on, he found out, like, man, he said, man, tell me why that girl said she was 12. And I said, nigga, I told you. I said, what you mean?
Ew.
He said, yeah.
Ew. Did he have sex with a 12-year-old? Like, what are you telling me right now?
No, he said he didn't. But I mean,
That
I don't.
nigga did.
Oh, I was like,
Did,
I hope you reported him to somebody because, goddamn.
because, but I was just telling him, I was like, but I always been weird like that. It's
You
like,
always look so stressed.
it was funny though because I was like, I remember I was weird. I was weird like that in
Because
high
it's
school.
so gross.
It is. But I remember in high school, I remember there was a girl who I was 15, and she said she was 12, and I said nope because I'm in high school and you're not. End of story. And that's just that.
I'm glad. Jesus Christ.
But you,
Oh my God. And I
it,
get this, and I get that some people look older than they are, but I just feel like you ought to be able to tell by the kind of conversations you have with a person how old they fucking really are.
you
Like
would think so.
especially in the formative years. Like obviously once you get to a certain point in your life, like if we're talking like the 21 to 30 crowd, like your life experiences do vary, but generally by the conversations you have you can still kind of tell, because if all your conversations are centered around you studying or going to parties or being on campus, like I have a pretty good idea of how old you actually are,
Yeah. But hey, look, you got some dudes, and I remember I
who
was
don't
talking.
give a fuck,
Yeah,
which is a whole motherfucking point.
yeah.
They having full-fledged conversations with 12 and 13-year-old girls talking about, she told me she was 16. No, that's plausible deniability. Like you're being in denial because you know she's not as old as she said she was, and you can tell by the conversation she's having with you, and you're just letting that fly out of one ear and the other because you
Yeah.
want to ask her to send you naked pictures.
Yeah, and she telling you
Right.
about her pre-algebra course.
Exactly. You're not paying no goddamn attention, but you worried about the wrong
Rewind.
motherfucking shit. Yeah, she asking you for Spanish one help.
Yeah, I mean, but I remember, oh man, because I remember my wife. You know, she's asleep right now, but I remember she told me when she was in she was a senior, and she was dating a guy that was like 22, 23, and
Oh,
I
but she.
told her, I said that nigga whack. And she was like, "No, he." I said, "Yeah, he is." I said, "And he
Yes.
couldn't have been my homie because he would have been roasted so much he would have broke up with you because I don't like people like that in my circle." I said, "Dog, that's lame. What you doing?"
You damn near mid 20s, and you at the high school picking your girlfriend up from no,
Hey, but
absolutely not.
speaking of that, how many of us were in high school and you knew those dudes? Because we graduated about the same time. How many times?
Hmm.
And Kayla, you can even talk to about it. How many times you knew those dudes that graduated about 3, 4 years ago, but they keep coming back to the campus? They at
Weirdos with
every
their
football game,
freaking. Yeah.
every
Weird.
basketball game, everything associated
Creeps,
with the school. They there.
creeps and weirdos.
All right. Oh man,
Strange
so
people.
yeah,
That
man,
is gross.
that's gonna be a new one, man. Who raised you? It's gonna be about everybody though, so it ain't gonna just be about dudes. So all my dudes are gonna get all in arms. But I'm like, dog,
Nope.
we know these whack dues exist. Unfortunately,
No,
we
because
allow them to
some
continue to thrive.
crazy whack bitches exist too. So let me go ahead and get mine in. I saw a girl. Somebody screenshotted a post that some girl had made on her IG or Facebook one and put it on either Twitter or IG. I don't remember. She took a picture of her child, and keep in mind this is a toddler. Like he can't be more than 3, and that's me being generous saying he's 3. And she said my son is cute and his dick big with the
What?
emoji
Whoa,
with
what?
the hard eyes. Bitch, like, what is wrong with you? Who raised you? You put your toddler on fucking Facebook or IG and had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to be like, he's cute and his dick is big too. Sis, you could have left that out. You could have just said your son was cute. What is wrong with you? Now I hope the FBI fucking surveils her ass and hope they catch her with child pornography or sex trafficking. Because why would you tell anybody that?
Why,
You trying to
no.
give him away?
Yeah, I'm like, what you trying to prostitute them out? get some of these.
Exactly. Like, what are you trying to do? What was the point of that?
Man, look. We all
Ugh.
know there. We know that one mama that her relationship with her son is hella inappropriate because you got to sit there and tell her, you know that's your son and not your man, right? Chill.
Right.
It's
Those
like,
things.
Y'all, ugh.
man, I don't know what to say
Made my
about
eye
people
twitch.
nowadays. It's crazy, man.
Made
You
my
got
made my fucking eye twitch. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, god damn. Which okay, so speaking of people's mothers, so I'm not gonna like specify any particular like instance, but I think it's odd for me because I think with your parents you get to a certain age where once you're over the hump and they're not raising you anymore, they want to like share parts of their life with you that they wouldn't have shared with you when you were a kid.
yeah. Unfortunately, yes, I know.
And then you're sitting there blink, and then it's like they tell you something you dead ass have, and you're dead ass that meme of that white man blinking. That is dead ass your face because you're like, I don't like
I
what?
didn't
Like why are
answer that.
you?
That was a lot. That.
I remember that.
I just wanted to know if it was just me because she be running up on me telling me some wild shit, and I'm like, I'm not. We're not friends. You realize I had to finally tell her like I love you, but we're not friends. And I really feel like you probably need to find somebody to tell this to. Perhaps call your sister or some of your other friends. And she's like, well, I love you and you're my best friend in the world. And I just want to talk to you about it. And I was like, when did we become best friends?
It's like I am your daughter. This is not the conversation we finna have.
Like we
Right.
were like, and that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's cyclical, right? Like they're like your best friend when you're like a toddler, right? Oh, I love you, mommy, so much. You're my best friend because you're not in school, so of course they're your
Mm,
best friend, the only friend you got. So
of
you're like,
course.
oh yeah, mommy, you're my best friend. And then it kind of you get friends outside of like your home. So then gradually they're not your best friend anymore. And then all of a sudden they pop up and they want to be your best friend, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
I
calm
didn't.
down.
Hmm.
Right. I didn't. No, that's not the way this works. It's not the way this works. It's not how
Does
siblings
not any of
work.
this works.
I Man, look, I remember that happened to me with my dad and his wife, and we were, all, he's the only parent I drink in front of because I still find it weird to drink in front of my mom or my grandparents. So I'll have a beer with my dad. That's cool. So I remember it was him and his wife, and I don't even know how these conversations started, but they started talking about sex, and she started talking about what he do. And I said, "Whoa, no, stop!" I said, "I don't want to look at this man like this. This is my father. This is not what we finna do."
It's too
Right.
much.
Bruh. It's too much and not enough at the same damn time.
Oh man, yeah, there is that point where the adults become so comfortable. Where it's like, oh, we can finally have a relationship I always wanted. It's like, no, we can't. Just picture me as that little person. No.
Right.
Keep thinking of me as seven, please. Please keep imagining me as a 7 year old when you want to talk to me about things.
Oh man.
It's very odd, and I think it's just one of those things where it's like
Nah.
you have been telling me for my entire non-adult life to stay in a kid's place, and that you are my parent and you're not my friend. Like you're still my parent. Like I'm just an adult now, but you didn't stop being my parent. So really, you just keep the divider up. Like we can peek over it every once in a while, have some serious conversations, whatever we need to do, but we can't. You can't talk to me about the position, the Kama Sutra that you read about in Cosmopolitan. Like you can't do that. I don't want to know
No.
about that.
Oh man.
We can
That's
probably go out and have a drink and some dinner, we and just chit chat, keep it light. I tell you about some things, but we're not gonna get into that.
No.
They want to involve you in shit don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm just like, I cannot do that with you today. So tweet
Oh
us
man.
if any of you have these situations with your parents where they have told you way too much information, more so that you probably ever needed to know in your life. I want to hear your stories because my mom tells me wild shit every single fucking day, and I need to know that I'm not alone.
Oh man, this is one story. Then we're gonna close it out. So I'm reading this back in was it on the 5th? There was a man claiming that he was basically almost like Marty from Back to the Future, claiming he's from 2048.
Get the fuck out of
No,
here.
no, next,
Alright, so
nope, next.
a Wyoming man accused of public intoxication allegedly told police he traveled from the year 2048 to warn mankind of an impending invasion by extraterrestrials.
So what was he
That's what
drinking?
he
I
was
want
I
some.
smoking.
don't know.
I need to stay away from. I hope I never come across the shit that he was smoking.
That's some good. That's beyond good. That's some top level shit, man. If it got you thinking you're from a different 20 foot, Lord.
So I guess
Mm-mm.
he's future Trunks. So I guess he's one of the androids coming to take over. All my DVD fans they recognize that reference. But yeah, allegedly the cop said he just reeked of alcohol. His speech was slurred and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, at least he's not from Florida.
Oh, that's where all the crime. And I think it's just, and I feel bad because we always harp on Florida, but I think it's one of those things where, like, because their records are public, it's always some wild shit. And I'm sure wild shit happens other places. It's
Of
just you
course.
always hear about theirs. Like theirs is like next level. Like it's like, how do you have all this shit going on in your state, like constantly?
Yep.
But
Because like
honestly, it's very comforting to me because normally it's white people, and that just it brings my heart like a small amount of joy. And I know that makes me kind of
it
prejudiced
does.
because it is a bit prejudiced, but it does make my heart smile, and I'm like, oh, white people doing dumb shit.
Yeah. I remember it was at one time. Unfortunately, I think we were talking about stereotypes at one point. It's that moment where he gets arrested based on a stereotype, and I say, damn, why he had to be that guy? So I think he robbed a bank for like I think he had like 10 grand with him. Got away, but then he stopped at KFC. I said,
And then the
why?
bank worker just walked over to KFC too.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
yeah.
was like, why? Why be that guy? Like, really?
Mm-mm. That is so terrible.
Oh man. Well, Kayla, where can
Goodness.
Kayla, where can folks find you?
Where can folks find me? They can find me on Twitter. You can definitely find me on Twitter. My at name is vitamin underscore KAI.
Yep, it
And
be
that's
lit,
also
y'all.
my that's also my handle on Snapchat, vitamin underscore KAI. And then on Instagram you can follow me at underscore Killah underscore KAI.
All right. V, what about you?
Um, before I get into that, before I forget, so a couple of things we just want to say, peace and prayers to all the victims of the Vegas shootings. No, we didn't talk about it because it was a bit ago, so we didn't talk about it directly, but our positive thoughts are with those people. So we just want to say that from all of us here.
Word.
What else? Oh, congrats to Jay from Just Say Words on 200 episodes. That happened as well.
What? Hey, that's a milestone there, man. I think we almost to 50, but imagine 200.
Yeah,
Man.
we got a ways to go. So he's been
Yeah.
he's been cranking them out like two a week. So congrats to you, brother, because that takes a lot of dedication. And I just we're dedicated, but we're like once a week dedicated. We're not
Yeah.
we're we're not quite there. We're not on quite on your level, but shouts out to you for 200. He also celebrated a birthday on the first, so happy belated birthday
Okay.
to you, as well as Charnel from What About Your Friends podcast.
Yeah.
He had a birthday. And
Didn't
then
somebody else? Yeah, Dan.
Danny from
Okay.
Danny and Cleo also had a birthday. So happy birthday to all of you fellas. Happy belated birthday wishes from all of us here. Um, with that being said, you can find me on Twitter at at VJ underscore Burton. I've been relatively well behaved this week. I've, only asked y'all to et y'all followers one or two times this week. I feel like I've been good. We'll be back next week with our would
Would
you
you rather?
rather's. I like to give y'all a break. Yeah, so I'll be back at the regularly scheduled time with that. Because we got to balance out six brown chicks, y'all, because they getting real out of hand over there.
Mm.
The questions getting real fucking out of hand. So I just try to try to balance that out a little for y'all. On IG, it is also VJ underscore Burton, and on Snapchat, it is Meekb, MIQUEB. Yep.
Oh man. All right. So I've actually been. I took a week off Twitter. I mean, it was the work's been getting swamped, but I try to peek
Hmm.
in from time to time and at least troll somebody. But y'all can always follow
Normally
me
me.
at true. You can always follow me at underscore Q underscore the underscore great. It's on Instagram as well as on Twitter. Also, make sure to follow the Talking 30 page. That'd be talking spelled out underscore 30 spelled out. The same thing will be on
You
Twitter as
will
well as on
spell that.
Instagram. Well, because if you just say talking 30, people are gonna like talking 30. It's like nah, you gotta spell out 30.
13.
13.
Yeah.
13. You got to say the whole word like this.
I love T in there. Talking T. 13.
Oh man.
13.
But other than that, let's see what else we got. Oh, go vote for Talking 30 on Cosign. So to go to I think it's cosign.com, and there's actually the awards page on there. So if you go on the awards page, you scroll down, you'll see Talking 30, and go ahead vote for us. You can refresh it and vote again. I think you can vote up to 6 times in a day. So yeah, man, we appreciate all the love there. We trying to turn up, go and try to get Geronimo the Don that award so he can be in here talking about Mama I made it. But
Yay! And so for all our Dallas peeps, like I actually am going to go support. So I will be in town for the Cosign Awards. Yay!
hey, that's what we talking about.
I'm going to turn up with Q. And shouts out to Jaden, one half of Unapologetic Podcast, because he will be in town as well. So I look forward to linking up with you. We're excited to see you, Jaden.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. And also, I think the pod panel is going to be coming up with season 2 pretty soon. So y'all be on the lookout for that, and make sure to check out all the other shows they have on there, man. It's a lot of dope guys associated with that. You got John, of course, from the John Effect. You got Miss Jackie, the YouTuber. You got Andrew Westmoreland from the Indie Press. You have Trilificent from Gay Side Stories.
Dayside Stories.
And then you
And
also have my homie Rain from Carefree Black Nerd. So, make sure to go in, dope stuff, great show. Just make sure to, hey, go follow them. Go follow them, retweet them, listen to the shows, all that stuff, man.
give him a
Let's
listen.
see. Anything else I got going on? Don't know. I got a lot going on, though, but I don't know. We're going to have some more guests coming up pretty soon as well, so y'all just...
Hang tight. I know we've been guestless for a while, but we've just kind of enjoying each other's company. So we'll
Yeah,
have
I
guests
know.
again soon.
Yeah, I know. Eventually, man. It's a little bit easier with just us three because we don't run over. But you get extra guests in. Conversation flow. We
You know,
be
it's
on here
like
2
3
hours.
hours and shit.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Girl, you ain't got no life. Stop playing. But anyways, man, I appreciate everybody. All the people who do support us. Like I said it earlier on Twitter. That was actually one of my tweets. Was like, this has been a dope year, and I have nobody to thank but the people who have helped support my lovely ladies here, who help drive this as well, and the people who actually help support Talking 30 as well. So I appreciate everybody. And
It's
other
been great.
than
Thank
So,
you.
yeah,
yep.
man.
Thank you guys for listening, for putting up with our shenanigans.
Yeah, I know.
Word.
Other than that, man, we up out of here, man. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace.
Salute the statin'. If they ain't heard of it, and you should slap them. Man, woman, and child go buy the fucking album, sneaking at it. I stay killing shit, Grim Reaper at it. Hey, pardon me, don't mean to be dramatic. Y'all niggas fake like the Easter rabbit. A line of coke